Good morning, Lee.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. Hard
I
life, huh?
appreciate your patience this morning. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm
don't be
running late.
silly. That's okay. You must be flat out, are you?
I'm pretty busy. Got a few things going, but it's all exciting. How are you? You doing well?
I'm good. I'm nice and chilled. I'm taking it easy.
Good. The weather's good. I can't complain.
No, well, it's quite dark down here today, actually. So actually, now I said there's the sun coming out. So good timing. Good timing.
Good. I hope you're getting your tan on. Plenty of factor 15.
Nah, I think we need plenty of vitamin D at the minute, plenty of those supplements. You know what I mean? You have no chance of getting outside. So
Absolutely.
how's the week been?
Week's going well, Lee. Week's going well. A few projects in the pipeline that I'm excited about. So just really putting everything in place for the upcoming challenge next week, which is a big one.
Yes, but obviously I wanted to chat about that actually because I've seen a couple of things you're going to be doing. I think you need to explain this.
I probably do. It's so next week, Tuesday, the 12th of May, I'm doing the 3,110 rep challenge to raise money for the Children's Hospice in Northern Ireland. So the premise behind the challenge is 3110, which was my little cousin's birthday, who unfortunately passed away last year at the age of 12. He and my family have had tremendous support from the Children's Hospice. So it's a fantastic facility, amazing staff, volunteers, and they really care for terminally ill kids. So doing 3,110 reps of a variety of exercises in the one day, putting the body on the line to try and raise money for a worthy cause.
Fantastic. And can you name a few of the reps? What is there?
So we have 300
behind
burpees.
You?
It's behind me. Yeah, I don't know.
Right, okay.
I don't know if
I can't really see
that.
it. Oh, hold on. It's a bit better. Sort of. Your writing's terrible.
It could be backwards, but we've got 300 burpees, 300 press ups, 300 squats, 300 lunges, 300 dips, 300 star jumps, 300 deadlifts. There's bear crawls. There's 110 pull-ups in there. Kettlebell swings with a 32 kg kettlebell, which is no joke. There's some deadlifts, like I said, and a few other bits and bobs in there as well.
Fantastic. What about timing? How does that work? Do you just have the 24 hours, or what way is that working?
So I'm going to try and do it in a working day. So,
well, a working day. Explain that one.
I had to pause there when I said it. It's just sort of dawned on me the task at hand. No, so we're going to split it up into a variety of exercise classes. It's all going to be streamed live on the Queen Sport YouTube, which will be great. So people can tune in along the way. They can join in, break it down almost into exercise class style chunks. So people can join in. People can get involved. They can see that I'm really doing it as well, which I suppose is the main thing when people are donating. And people can obviously comment and show the support. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I did a little bit of a test run yesterday. So I did about 1,750 reps yesterday. So
why would you do that? Why would you even test that?
I'm a bit emotional today, a bit tender.
I'm sure. That's a week today. That's the 12th. That's maybe your birthday is actually that day. So that's my excuse not to do it, you see.
Amazing.
You know.
I'm sure you'll be stuck in, Lee. I can see you doing 1,000 burpees, no bother.
No chance. I can't think of a worse exercise than burpees. I don't know what.
I thought it'd be a good idea to try 30 in a row yesterday, and I had to pause the class for 2 minutes because I thought I was gonna pass out, to be honest. So I won't be doing 30 again.
We did that. This was the Spartan race. Down in Punchestown.
Amazing.
Me and one of my mates. And if there was any obstacle that you couldn't do, your punishment was 30 burpees. So if you couldn't, so you had to try the obstacle. Halfway through it, if you failed it, well then you had to go down and do 30. I thought that was worse than the obstacle.
That is worse than any obstacle.
It was terrible. So I think I can't even remember how many obstacles there were. I think I missed 3 of them, for talk's sake. So even 90 burpees in the middle of all that, I thought, no, too old for this now.
That's heroic. 90 burpees is absolutely no joke.
That's what I'm saying. That's with everything else. No, fair play. That's actually fantastic, because especially if you're streaming it live, people can actually join in, you know, as it's going on. Because obviously I will put the link below. You've sent me a couple of links, you know, so I'll include them in this. So people can click the link and join in or whatever it may be. What time are you starting at?
Fantastic. I really appreciate it. We're starting early in the morning, so I think it's around 8:30. So we have a timetable that's getting made up at the minute. Once I have that timetable, I'll definitely share it with you. But pretty sure we're starting at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to go through to 6:30, 7 p.m. So
lovely.
Lovely stuff. I'm excited. No, it is good. The interesting part of it was when I phoned my mum and told her, and she goes, Andrew, in all these years, I've just now accepted that you're crazy. You're the crazy member of the family. And I was like, I love you too, Mum.
Oh, well, at least he's figured it out now, finally. That's good.
That's it, yeah. Cat's out the bag, so just got to embrace it. Embrace the chaos.
But here, mums think that anyway. I don't remember, whenever I done that, that challenge last year, the 6 hours trade in the water, my mum was like, what planet are you on?
This is
what planet? It's ridiculous. And then I thought this year I'll do 12 because I think it's going to be December time. I think we're looking to do it. So
that's amazing. I can't wait to tune into that. Like, I'll be there.
That's mental. That's mental. No, there'll be no cameras on my. No, you're all right.
I'll be live. I'll be live. As live as it gets.
You can live stream that. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Right, but you wonder where some of these ideas come from. You know, I think obviously there's loads of charity events now, and they're all equally as incredible, and they're all equally for, you know, fantastic causes, marathons and 10Ks and, you know, triathlons, etc. But I think now it's good to try something outside the box, particularly when we're stuck at home, or something that hasn't been done before, or something that's a personal challenge as well, or something that means something to you. It's always good to think about something new and innovative.
100%.
Spark people's imagination and maybe inspire them to do something as well. You know?
Yeah, especially at a time like this. A lot of people are coming up with different challenges, different things. I know one of our past students sent me a link. I think it was something like 1,000 squats in an hour, or was it 5,000? Or maybe it was 3,000 in 3 hours, or something like that. Because when I looked at it, I went, what? Why?
Why would you ever do 1,000 squats?
Exactly.
In your lifetime?
Because it sounds, you know, okay, it wouldn't be that bad. No, that would be terrible.
That would be terrible. 1,000 squats in an hour.
I think it was an hour. That would be right, wouldn't it? An hour, so you're looking
12, 13 squats in every minute for an hour.
Is that right? My math is normally good. An hour, 60 minutes into 1,000, 120. Oh, yeah,
so
you're about right, actually.
16 maybe, 16 a minute.
16 17 every minute. Well, I suppose. But yeah, I think it's once it went up to the higher level. I can't remember if it was 3,000 in 5 hours or 5,000 in 3 hours. It was something like that. Like, then I'll be walking for 2 weeks.
Well, if you want to tone your glutes, folks, listen in. That's how you do it.
Definitely. But it's good to see, you know, the things that are going on at the minute out there, you know, and challenges and things, especially charity fundraising things. It is great to see, you know.
Oh, it's fantastic. There's definitely a bit of a buzz about it. I think it just takes, you know, one or two people to spark that imagination that we talked about and inspire people, and it soon catches on. And I think now's, you know, as good a time as any to give back a little bit, and we've got the extra time. You know, we're really sort of pushing out this community feel, and we're all sort of in this journey together, for lack of a better expression. So if we can give back and we can use this time to raise awareness of amazing causes, you know, I know a lot of people who've been doing live gigs from home. You know, they've been raising money for the MS Society and other amazing charities by, you know, live concerts from home and other bits and bobs. So it's fantastic. There's loads going on. It's great.
That's great. Well, even the place, one of our office down in Dublin, where we are there, it's like a community sort of hub. They do this thing like a talk every week. They used to do it every week to everybody in the building, you know, about what the business is, what they're doing, things like that. But now they've actually put it online, so they're doing a virtual talk. And it's a lot of charities. It's a lot of you know, people trying to spread the word about, you know, everything that they're doing. So it's ideas. I suppose you have that much time now to think about ideas. and about what to do. Because even starting this, if we never YouTube, we had YouTube a few years ago. We literally put 3 videos out. I was just like, I can't get it. But now I'm like, okay, maybe it's a time to start doing a bit more.
Absolutely, it's a great time to think of new ideas, and I think that's where the misconception comes with around boredom. I think we're in this world right now where the desire is to be constantly stimulated, and there's always something to do, and that's great. And I'm sure there's been times in history where people have been crying out for stimulation and innovation and new ideas and ways to stay connected. But people underestimate the value of boredom. They underestimate the value of just taking time out, because that's when your brain gets time to actually think of new ideas, and it allows itself to be creative and has that expressive freedom. I think to think of new ideas. It's that moment when just before you fall asleep, for example, when that idea pops into your head, and it's a game changer, and then you maybe forget it in the morning, or if you're lucky enough you write it down. But it's only when you kind of shut everything down and let your system just recuperate, all these ideas start flowing in, because you're not thinking about the post on Facebook, the Instagram model, or the 10,000 things we have to do that day. So I think there's value in being bored in short doses.
Yes, but it's slowing down. It comes back to slowing things down as much as possible. And that's actually a good lead-in, because I was going through my library, my books and stuff, and actually rereading a few things that I really, really enjoyed. And I sat them beside me here, and I thought, but you blend in very well there. There's one: focus, slow down, de-stress.
Brilliant.
Yeah, what's that called? The Little Book of Mindfulness.
Incredible.
Very, very straightforward. There's like about 10 words on each page. Literally, it's very, very small little book, but it's just getting you to slow down as much as possible. Because I've always said this, because we're always go as fast as possible. Quick, get there quicker, and it doesn't make sense to me. So actually having less things on, slowing things down as much as possible, actually sparks your ideas, sparks the mind a bit, and does de-stress you as well, which is very important.
Is that something you would practice quite regularly? Slowing down and taking your time.
I should always say, if you're any more laid back, you'll be lying down. And that's right, because even with running a business and things like that, I constantly slow things down. Simple little things like, I'm not on emails every day. So I schedule emails for a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's it. If you email me on any other day, tough. Even though my responder in my email actually says, thank you for your email, I'll respond to you within 72 hours. People are like, what? That's 3 days.
That's fantastic. I mean, I've been reading more and more about that, particularly in Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Work Week, where he talks about, scheduling your emails is a great example of that. Scheduling time, working from home when possible. And I think people have this misconception that being busy equals being productive, when it doesn't. Because you're busy, the amount of times you potter around the house and you maybe move the plant pot a little bit here, and you open a window and you close it, and then you do some washing that doesn't need done, and all of a sudden 3 hours is gone and you've been busy, but have you really done anything you couldn't do in 15 minutes?
Mike actually said years ago, everybody's rushing and they're going nowhere. And I thought, that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you're always busy isn't productive. It doesn't mean did you do anything? Did you get anything done? I'm as guilty as anybody else, thinking times getting sucked into administration work and things like that. Going, is this even important? What is the point in this?
That's it. I think again, going back to the emails, I think it's fantastic, and it's actually great to hear that from a business owner that you do that, because I think it's such a fantastic tool, and something that I think, or I certainly hope, we'll start to see implemented in the workplace. Answer your emails 3 times a week and get them done and have meaningful responses. I know in certain places they do, whether it's a myth or not, I don't know, where they have meetings standing up 15 minutes. It saves the hour-long conversations of getting nowhere. And I think if we can all be more micro-productive and more efficient with our time, just think about what we can achieve. I think.
But that's another simple thing. Like I'm sure you've been in our office. We have a standing desk. Desk we're obviously standing at. Because obviously that does make you a lot more productive. Plus, it's obviously good for your health. It's good for the back, the legs, the hips. You shouldn't be sitting all day. because you do fall into an awful slump. So actually, and you know this as well, I'm probably in our office maximum, maybe an hour at a time. You'll always see me walking out the door, walking around the gardens and back in again, because I think if your mind can slow down get so bogged up with admin and clutter, you know, that you're just not going to get anywhere.
100%. You know, and it comes down again is, you know, is multitasking effective? Is it effective use of your time, or is it more efficient to just pick one task, one small achievable task, start off with, get it done in 10, 15 minutes. Not only will you get that satisfaction of achieving something and it'll give you momentum, but it's just more efficient use of your time. If you're dabbling in 10 or 15 things at once, nothing ever gets done. You know, you just create more problems and you end up giving yourself more tasks.
But that's the same. Whenever I had started Platinum originally, I had a list a day, and there was easily 20 to 25 things on it every day. And as time went on, I slowly went, this doesn't make sense. You're better having 5 things and getting them done, because the 20 or 25 a day, they were never done. There was always another 10 that rolled over to the next day. You know, just 100%. Made it worse and worse. You know, there's a boy out here strumming now, so I'm sure you can hear that, can you?
No, it's grand. And that's the problem. You know, you go to bed then feeling like you haven't achieved what you set out to do, and you go to bed at night with a negative sense of lack of fulfillment, that you haven't got your task done, and then you also go with a busy head as well. You think, I need to do this tomorrow. Pick 5 tasks, get them done. You know, if you get them done early doors, great. Have the rest of the day off. You know, actually enjoy your life, enjoy your day, or pick another 3 or 4 tasks that can easily be done that day.
Exactly. Exactly. If I don't get them done now, life will be over, and that's it. That's pointless. You know what I mean? But pick the most important things. The stupid nonsense, schedule that for a time. You know what I mean? I'm doing schedule like the silly stuff now once a month. I'm like, nah, that's the day I do it. And you know, simple as that. And yet people would say to me, "Oh, can you not do it today?" I'm like, no, because it's not scheduled for today. It's scheduled for another day. If I start doing that, you know, I'll end up getting my head cluttered up. And if you don't look after yourself, well, you're no use.
100%. And not to dive in to get too philosophically, but that's what I do. You know, that's what I enjoy. No, listening to a couple of podcasts from, I'll get his name wrong, but Jesse Itzler. He's an American gentleman who actually owns the Atlanta Hawks NBA team.
Right, yes.
And he owns a coconut water company, and he's an entrepreneur, etc. His wife is actually the owner of Spanx, so it's a bit of a billionaire super couple. But he's a very humble guy, and he's done various things. For example, he lived with monks for 15 days, completely, you know, a billionaire, completely isolated himself 15 days in a monk monastery just to slow everything down and be more aware of his thoughts. He lived with the Navy SEAL for 15 days to see how far he could push himself physically as well as mentally. So my point was, he talks about your life CV, you know, not just your work CV. He talks about your life CV. And, you know, for example, if your parents are 80 years old, you know, you might think, oh, well, I have maybe 5-10 years to, you know, with them. Well, how many times do you visit them per year? Maybe 5 times. So do you have maybe 20 visits left with them? How many summers do you have with them? You maybe only have 4 or 5 summers left with them. So he breaks it down into these little chunks and think, you know, life is short, and we all have this CV and this career ladder that we want to aspire to, and that's great. It's great to be ambitious and to want to improve yourself, and we all have goals. But he talks about your life CV, and what are you doing every month to boost that life CV? What are those things that you remember, and what are you doing to ensure that you have those memories and you have those goals? And I think we can easily neglect that. You know, we can easily set these work tasks that are borderline meaningless, to answer the 1,000 emails a day, which could be done in 3 days. And by being more efficient with our time, we have so much more time for our own goals and this life CV that he talks about.
That's fantastic, because that actually, I've said this a few times before, if there's no such thing as an urgent email. What? How do you mean? Well, if something's urgent, you would pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Certainly you would. People are like, oh no, that's. But to me, if you put urgent in the line of an email, it's not urgent. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at it.
That's a great point.
I'm sorry, because that is absolutely pure nonsense.
That is a great point. And
Yeah.
again, we just add more stress on ourselves then when that task doesn't get done, and just adds on top of this mounting pile of pressures. And it's no wonder that mental health is such a struggle for so many people this time.
Of course. Well, that you were saying there, you were listening to podcast. Is there any books or anything that you're reading at the minute, or anything that sort of
There are. I have
sparks your interest?
Yeah, I've got a few here that I've been diving into. One is the 12 Rules for Life, from Jordan Peterson. It's
Oh, the man. Okay.
controversial clinical psychologist that he is.
No.
Thought I'd give his book a whirl, and again, there's some good lessons in there, but
Yeah.
he definitely divides opinion as a psychologist and as a public speaker. So be interesting just to get a bit of perspective and see things from his point of view. Don't necessarily agree with everything that he says, and that's okay. If we just read everything that we agreed with, then we wouldn't learn and we wouldn't get a broader perspective, I guess. So how do we dive into his book? And then my classic and my all-time favorite book, which is so random, is On the Road.
On the Road
by Jack Kerouac. I don't know if you've ever read it.
Never.
Literary classic, as they would say.
Yeah.
Written post World War II, the Beat generation in America, where everybody came back from the struggles of World War II, and they were looking for meaning and a place in the world. And Jack Kerouac, who was a bit of a traveler, he wrote this book based on his own life traveling across America, literally on the road, hitchhiking, going from one city to the next, and the characters that I met along the way. And for me, it's the ultimate freedom book. It's that escapism of, particularly this time where we can't actually leave the house per se. He talks about his adventures and his travels across the world, and basically the appreciation for freedom and just his wild adventures. And for
That's
me,
fantastic.
That's the ultimate book for me.
Yeah, that's something you're planning to do.
It's always been in the pipeline for me. Traveling is always a big passion of mine, and I've been fortunate enough to do plenty of it around a variety of continents. And I think for me, it's been one of the biggest learning curves in life, is to meet new people and experience new cultures, and dive into a place where you don't know the language, and you soon realize that although there's different cultures and different people and different upbringings, we have the fundamental same needs and same values, whether it's family, health, love, happiness, community. All those things are shared across the world. We may just talk differently or look differently or dance differently, but again, we're all in it together. And for me, it's almost it is my probably ultimate passion alongside fitness, is traveling and meeting new people.
Yeah.
I think you can learn so much more from a 5-minute conversation with somebody across the other side of the world as you can reading 10 books.
Of course. Oh, meeting people, and actually, that's why they do say, obviously, always respect your elders. They've been here, they've done it for a lot longer than you have, so they'll have a lot of answers to questions as you may have. But obviously, traveling does that as well. I'm quite like yourself. I love traveling, but it's weird. After all the years of traveling I've done and been to so many places, this past few years, I've grown to love Ireland so much more. Especially the west coast of Ireland.
Okay.
Just traveling, there's this thing called the Wild Atlantic Way, which is literally it's 2,500 kilometers or something.
Wow.
of a journey. And there's this like passport that you can get in Dublin DPO, and you have to get a stamp in each of the villages the whole way down. And each stamp is a completely different shape. It's absolutely fantastic. So it gives you all the points from, I think it's the very, very top of Donegal right the way down to Kinsale in Cork.
Amazing.
And it lays it out for you so much. And the sights that you see is just absolutely amazing, So people, you're always traveling far, but then you forget where you come from and, what you have here. And I've no doubt I'll probably end up retiring on the west coast, like Galway or something.
100%, and that's an equally valuable lesson from traveling, is you learn that appreciation of what you have at home.
Yeah.
If you live at home like a traveler, all of a sudden you see new sights and new things, and you appreciate your own landscape, your own people, your own culture more than ever. Being being Scottish/Irish myself, you know, it was only when I lived in Australia and I came back and I realised the mountains in Scotland, the coast of Ireland, you know, the people here, it's hard to beat anywhere in the
Of
world.
course.
You know,
Yeah.
the humour, the
crack.
community spirit that we have, the crack, and that's it. Just the crack is just unlike anything else. Probably
Yeah.
through the amount of struggles we've had to go through over the years, we've found happiness and humour.
Damn right. Damn right. That's fantastic. Well, anything else you'd like to say before we wrap on?
Not too much, other than I hope everyone's doing all right. And any tips or advice from yourself that you've been implementing on your staff?
Well, look, you know, like our business, it's been kept going. We, as I say, like a lot of our stuff has gone. Anything theory based has gone online. So it's just keeping them sort of ticking over, and rather than going from everything that we were doing to nothing, we still have quite a bit on, and I think that's a good thing that they're not too busy now, but they're not doing nothing either, because cheapers, if you were doing nothing, you know, it would be a struggle, I think, if you're just getting up in the morning, nothing to do for the whole day. So it's just finding that balance, and I think everybody's still doing well, you know, which is great. I'm just balancing my week out, doing a bit of work here, a bit of work there, but enjoying myself, finding time to do a few hobbies. I've been meaning to learn a new language for I don't know how long, so I've started doing that again.
Brilliant.
So,
what language are you learning?
well, I'm looking for Danish at the minute, you see. So I learned French, you know, obviously at school and a wee bit after school, so I need to sort of touch that up a wee bit. But I just thought maybe a time to learn. I love Denmark as a country, so I've travelled quite a bit there, and I probably will again. So just to get, not that you actually even need to know the language, because they all speak fluent English.
Of course, better than us.
Oh, 100%. So, but it just keep the mind active. Starting to do a wee bit of studying myself again. As I say, rereading books, listening to audiobooks, podcasts, things like that. But not doing too much, because if it's time for us to slow down, well, then we should slow down. Just find that proper balance, you know.
And is there any audiobooks or podcasts that you recommend?
Literally finished an audible book there this morning. A friend of mine, Warren, he sent it over to me. It was Lies My Doctor Told Me. It's this American doctor who basically explains all of the teachings, you know, that doctors go through, and all of the lies that he told as a doctor, and he knew he was telling, and then how he went off and researched, you know, the different diets, the lifestyles, what is actually good for you, what's bad for you. And it's really well structured, because it tells you, here's the lie, here's the research, here's the truth. And it's like, wow, okay, that's really, really good. And I just thought I would change it up a wee bit by actually listening to a book rather than reading it, because I've got many books here. So just thought, yeah, read it. It was 6.5 hours or something like that, which sounds like a lot, but it's not really. You know, you put it on for half an hour here in the morning, and half an hour. You have the book read in a week, maybe less.
100%. I think it's something that the world was going to, was audiobooks before, and people were listening to them in the car, and it was a great use of time. But
yeah,
great now that we actually have that time to sit down and schedule, maybe lying on the couch listening to an audiobook, or
exactly. Yeah,
or the old classic, you know, pick up a hardcover or a paperback.
Hard copy. I can't do Kindle. I cannot for the life of me do this Kindle, a book digitally. I just, if you send me something digitally to read, like it's long, I'll go, no, I'll print that out. Because I just can't. I don't know what it is. So that's why I prefer the hard book. And then, yeah, I did reread my favourite book ever, which it's been a mixture of everything, is I'm wrecking the place. The man himself, How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. So Paul Chek to me he's just the master of health and fitness. And even when I started in the industry, like just over 20 years ago, he was the stuff, or sorry, his was the sort of teachings I went to, because very holistic approach, and he really goes in depth into, you know, your body type, the type of eating that your body should be doing. He even goes as far as, you know, testing your the stuff that goes into the toilet, you know what I mean? Which probably isn't for everybody. But he's come out with a podcast there last year. I think it's Living 4D with Paul Check. And I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Mercola.
No,
so he interviewed him, and I'm actually listening to that at the minute. So yeah, I'm keeping busy with my reading and my learning at the minute.
Fantastic. And do you feel like you've changed your lifestyle at all since the lockdown in regards to your health and well-being, exercise, diet?
The only thing I've started doing even more than what I was doing was jumping into the sea. Because that to me, I would have loved, even though I live by the sea, was to jump in every day, no matter how cold it is. I've always wanted to get into that routine.
Fantastic.
I was jumping in maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, which to me, even health-wise, jumping into the sea is just absolutely brilliant. So I've done that, but I lived quite a slowish lifestyle anyway. I know it probably looks like I do. I'm very busy, but as I say, by structuring things and slowing things down and, making time for the people that count, and, I haven't really changed, that much, apart from maybe reading even more than I was. Apart from that, really, yeah.
And as a business owner, do you have any tips or advice on how to structure your day and in that way to be more productive? Because Platinum's obviously been fantastically successful. It's got a great reputation, but like you stick by these values of being productive in small doses and
yes, 100%. I would have scheduled things. Obviously, one of the things, obviously, not having social media, as I said before, that's a biggie, because you're not getting. I can't see what's there. I can't post what's there, so I'm not lost into that. So that's a big one. I don't turn my computer on until 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Just don't turn it on. People are like, what? No, 10 o'clock. Once that comes, that gives me, if I get up at 6 or half 6 or even 7, the latest maybe, that is my time to have my coffee, go for my walk on the beach, do my meditating, work out, get an able date, and then start working. And scheduling in, as I said, the emails is a big one. And don't have emails on my phone. I don't even have Safari on the phone. So not having internet is a big one, because I can't get lost in that. So those are the sort of smallish tips. Where Sunday's a wipeout. Just no. Sorry, unless we have a course on or something, like we had exercise referral on there Saturday and Sunday at the weekend. I peeped my head in Zoom to say hello to everybody, and then went. That was it. So before Sunday, no, wipeout. I think that's important. Is just, it comes back to the Miyagi lesson of balance. If you need to get it just right, work can be very, very rewarding. Work can be amazing, but there's nothing. It's nothing compared to relationships, talking to people, being with people. It's just, it doesn't hold a candle to it.
Brilliant. I mean, that's fantastic advice, and I think we can all take a leaf out of your book, definitely.
There you go. Oh, here, well, I'll have to write one then first. So that's the next step.
I'll be the first. I'm looking for a signed copy, Lee.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Well, we're going to obviously make this a more regular thing, aren't we? We're going to try and do this maybe every week or so.
I would absolutely love it, Lee. It's always a pleasure, and really enjoying it so far. So.
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic. Well, you go on, look after yourself, and I will put this out probably on Wednesday, and put all the links down so everybody can join in. I'll try and join in myself, maybe. We'll see. Get the wee girl up and going. But you look after yourself and have a great week, sir.
Brilliant. Really appreciate it, Lee. You take care.
All right,
all the
best,
best,
look after yourself.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.